But yeah, so basically what is it? Well, basically it's choosing to eat your food, a snack, a meal, whatever, in as relaxed of a state as possible and as present as possible. So I'll start with relaxed. What does relaxed mean? Well, if you're standing, I can tell you you're not in a relaxed mode. Your body is instantly going to be rising the cortisol. You're not totally relaxed, because when you're standing, you're ready for action. You're in fight or flight mode, so to speak, even if not extreme, just a little bit. But when you're sitting, you're more in a resting, digesting mode. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system turns on, and your body is ready to eat and ready to enjoy, ready to assimilate the food and digest it properly. So that's relaxed. Take some deep breaths right now. If you take some deep breaths, that automatically gets you in a more relaxed state. And then present, when I say present state, that just means like I'm actually focusing on the task at hand, which is nourishing my body with food and enjoying it, versus writing emails and snacking, or watching a scary movie and snacking, or having a fight with my husband and eating, or, like a lot of people multitask with food. And so I'm not saying you have to be so extreme overnight, but if you're just grabbing bites of food while you're cleaning the kitchen and doing a million other things, you're not going to enjoy the food very much. So you might be more likely to crave food later, even if you're not physically hungry. You're not going to digest the food as well. And food really truly is, I believe, a source of joy. I go more into this. I have a course, it's called Peaceful Eating. But I talk about Europeans, in Paris, 10% of people are overweight or obese in Paris. In Canada, it's closer to 60%. So what's different about their culture is they revere food. They love rich foods, but they don't grossly overeat them and eat them on the run. And I remember being in Europe, and I was like, can I get a to-go cup? And my friend who I was visiting, I did an exchange for 4 months there. She's like, we don't really do that here. Like, we just sit, we have our coffee, we savor it with a croissant, and then we like move on with our day. But they're not like such a to-go culture. And so that's a whole nother topic, but there's a reason why the obesity epidemic is much worse in USA and Canada, because we've got such convenience culture, and we don't really respect food the same way. And that's a generalization, of course, but I just think there's so much to be said for like savoring our food and respecting it, and bringing back dinner time, and turning off the TV at dinner time and it's talking to your family. And anyway, that's a whole nother can of worms, but that's kind of peaceful eating. So benefits: when you're relaxed, your cortisol goes down. Cortisol is the hormone that tells your body to hold fat. So when you're relaxed, your cortisol goes down. So that's really good. Your digestion will be improved. When you're in fight or flight, your body's not wanting to digest food. It's wanting to fight the enemy or fight whatever the stress is. So that's why people that are eating on the run usually get more gas and more bloating. They don't get as much nutrition from their same meal, because their body's just, trying to get it finished and get back to the danger. You'll get more pleasure and happiness from your food if you sit and you look at it and you are grateful for it and you taste it and you put your fork down once in a while and you chew it. And pleasure, I don't know, does anybody else want more pleasure in life? I think we all want more happiness, right? And food is such a source of joy. It can be, at least. Have less cravings. So if you let yourself have the food and enjoy the food, it's been shown that you'll crave less later. But if you're just eating it, feeling guilty and rushing, you're going to probably want more later. You're going to avoid that discomfort of overeating because you didn't even notice that you were full because you were multitasking. They say that it takes 20 minutes from your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. And if you aren't in touch with your body and you're rushing and eating on the run or whatever, it's more likely that you're going to overeat. Weight release is going to definitely be a good byproduct of slowing down eating, because you'll notice you're full sooner and you'll say, enough is enough. But if you're eating and watching a movie and doing a million things, then you're less likely to say, oh, I'm actually satisfied. I don't need to keep going. anyway, so those are some of the benefits. And so I want to talk about how do we do it. So first step, and it's on the worksheet, you can see, eat when you're hungry. This isn't easy, by the way, especially if you have, I don't know, my family called me a sport eater. Like that's was like my nickname. I was like, I like loved overeating. Me and my brother would like compete who could like eat more. So just eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. Yeah, that sounds really nice, but that's not just, I just want to share that that's not always easy for everyone. But it takes practice. Another step is the way a good practice too, is we talked about the hunger scale a few weeks ago. So you can start saying, how hungry am I? 6 is I'm satisfied. I don't need to eat anymore. 10 is roll me out of here. Thanksgiving dinner. I can't even move. I'm so full. And 1 is like, I'm famished. I could eat my arm. Like, so it's good to once in a while say, and do it right now, actually put it in the chat. How physically hungry are you? I would give myself like, I'd say like, I'm like a 2. Like, I feel like a little bit, I hate the word should. I probably would have been good if I had something fatty, like a tea with some MCT oil before this call, because I like haven't had anything all day. So I feel like I really, like after this call, I'm definitely going to go break the fast before 11. Or have some fat or something. But yeah, asking yourself, how hungry am I? If you wait till you're at a 1 or a 2, especially you might be more likely to overeat or make poor food choices. Has anyone ever grocery shopped starving? And then it's like, I'm going to buy that. And it's proven, they do research on this. If you go hungry to the grocery store, you're way more likely to buy junk food. So the second thing is eat with minimal distractions. I shared the name, I'll share it in the chat if you're interested, but her name's Janine Roth. And she talks about eating with no distractions. So literally, like, you just look at your plate, you eat it, you spend 10 minutes eating your meal. You don't watch a show, you don't make a call, you don't write an email, you don't look at social media, like you eat. And she gets a lot of pushback from people because they're like, that's too uncomfortable, that's boring. And what she always says, which sounded a little harsh to me, but she's like, I know you said it's like boring and uncomfortable, but isn't being so overweight also boring and uncomfortable? Like, isn't being overweight uncomfortable? Wouldn't you just want to try something new, And it's like, that sounded harsh, but she's like, why not try? Like, because there's so much to be learned about ourselves when we just eat. We learn, why are we eating? We learn how much to eat. And this is more deep, but like, it's so uncomfortable to just be with ourselves in our world, like, especially if we are used to, oh, I feel nervous. Okay, I'm going to distract myself with food, or, I'm angry. Okay, I'm just going to eat. Or I don't know. For me, it's emotional eating food is my coping mechanism, but everybody has one. Maybe it's shopping. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's just working like a banshee all the time and never breathing. But like, we all have a distraction mechanism. Not many of us were taught growing up, oh, you feel scared? Oh, let's comfort that little inner child that's scared. Like, most of us kind of were taught, like, you eat, or you stay busy, or you whatever. So we'll talk more on Thursday about that. But I invite you to do your best to eat your meals this week, as little distractions as possible. And you're not failing if you throw on a TV show or you scroll social media. You're not failing. It's just like, I invite you, like, just really try this week. See because I remember when I started learning about this, I would be like, nope. I'd call my husband and I'd be like, talk to me. It's lunchtime. Like, I couldn't just eat alone. I swear to God. So anyway, just an interesting thing to practice. Sitting to eat is another part of the peaceful eating practice, because you'll be so much more in tune with your body. Your body will be in rest and digest mode instead of fight or flight mode when you're eating and on the run. Sit in your car, sure. Just make sure you're not driving. No, sometimes I drive and eat, but I do my best not to do that, because I know I'm not going to be enjoying it and savoring it and getting the full benefit from it. Put your feet on the floor. Now, this is important, because if you curl up in a ball on the couch and you eat, you don't feel your stomach getting full. So that's why, and physically, if you put your feet on the floor, you ground yourself into the earth energetically, and you're just automatically more relaxed too. So that's another one. Put your fork down between bites. This is just so that you actually chew and savor. I forget what the name of the diet program is, but they have their clients chew 100 times every bite. And it's insane. Like the results people get are insane, because they're like, I'm bored. I've had 3 bites and I cannot do this. Like they lose weight like crazy, because they're like, I got to move on with my day. I can't just chew all day. So anyway, but chew a lot. Chew till your food is this is going to sound gross, but liquid in your mouth, because that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to start the digestive process in our mouth. But if we're just inhaling food, there's a lot of acid in our mouth that helps our body digest properly. And if we just keep swallowing it without even chewing it, that makes it really hard on the rest of our digestive system to properly digest. That's another reason people get a lot of bloating, is they're not chewing enough in their mouth and getting enough saliva to help break the food down. And then that's kind of similar to chew your food fully. Those two kind of go together. Put your fork down, chew, enjoy, and then eat till you're satisfied, which again, simple, obvious, but not easy, because food is yummy and food is comforting. And food is a social thing. And, food feels good when we're feeling sad. And there's a million reasons why just eating until you're satisfied, to that 6 out of 10 on the hunger scale, not as easily said as done. But I love this topic. It's worth practicing. I'll say that. You don't have to be perfect. If you did 1 meal a week like this, it would be a huge win. It's not like you got to be perfect overnight, or else